Let's go to the Titans at the Colts, where Tennessee is a 1-point favorite in the contest, and the Indianapolis Colts are AJ's 4-weight, Fez. I guess he's confident in the way that the quarterback is playing, but I think I'm confident in Mike Vrabel, and I'm confident in this Titans team. I don't want to overreact too much to what we saw last week from the Titans, because the Bengals, there's clearly something wrong with them more than just Joe Burrow's calf. But you got to admit, that was a pretty good performance by them, winning 27-3 over the Bengals.
And in terms of energy expanded, I like Tennessee just because what my power ratings make the game 0. All right, so I kind of want to tease either team up to 7.5, and you decide as the bookmaker. Give me somebody plus 1.5 to tease up to 7.5. But I'm a lot more concerned about Indy, who played the overtime game, and it wasn't just the normal overtime game. It's we're down 23. We climb the mountain. We come all the way back in the second half. Then we lose in overtime. That's a whole lot of energy expanded, as opposed to Tennessee walk in the park, game's over midway through the third quarter. And that's the sort of team I believe in there being spinal tap. The knob only goes up to 10. But it can go to 11. And so there's plenty of room to bring it to 11 for Tennessee. And I think Indy used up their 11 last week. So if I had to bet it, I would certainly play Tennessee.
Yeah, now I don't know if Jonathan Taylor is going to play for the Colts or not. I know that he's returning to practice and he's practicing fully. So maybe he does return. And if he does, he's definitely going to give this team a boost. And maybe that's what AJ is banking on.
Is it definite?
He's practicing.
Are we certain? No, not that he's going to play. Are we certain he's going to give the team a boost?
Oh,
I mean,
no, I don't know. But it has to, because look at what they're doing this year. The rushing ranks, they're 23rd in success rate, 31st in EPA. They're 19th yards per rush.
And he was the stud. They're going to welcome him back. Yeah.
Led the league in rushing 2 years ago, Fez. I mean,
of course.
He's obviously better than what they have. So if he's back, maybe that's what AJ's banking on. He's going to give them a boost. I want to ask you a question here. And maybe it's a trick question. But Mike Vrabel and the Bengals won as an underdog last week against the Bengals. Do you like backing teams coming off of a win as an underdog? Or do you like fading teams that come off a win as an underdog?
So we queried this, and I was wrong. So historically, in all sports, I've always talked about you pull the upset, all right? And then you go, and this applied, if you recall, to Arizona last week. But they won as a huge dog, and then they were a dog again. And I'm like, well, if I'm a home underdog, I've always been told, home momentum situation, that's great. Like in college football, college basketball, keep backing the team, because they're no respect. They made us a dog again. We're getting it done. But if you go on the road, then oftentimes you run out of energy and get your doors blown off. But I know that has no longer applied in a lot of the queries in the NFL. So
Mike Vrabel, as head coach of the Titans, when coming off of a win as an underdog, the following week, 14-9 against the spread, covering by an average of 5.6 points per game.
And I just would have liked him to be a home underdog, not a road underdog. But I mean, let's face it; these teams know each other. This is not a new venue. Tennessee. It sure seems like Tennessee. It's weird that they had such a disparate result against the Bengals, because you would think all they would do is slog through and play close games, whereas Indianapolis might have a big variance in their results. Versus Tennessee. My gut says Tennessee, because it was such an easy game last week, that they're going to get the win this week. So I would not endorse AJ's play.
Yeah, they're not. The Colts just aren't throwing the ball down the field. And so I'm not worried about any big plays. Among quarterbacks this season with 75 or more pass attempts, Anthony Richardson only has 20 or more yards down the field. That's the second fewest in the NFL, only ahead of Bryce Young, and we know. And Bryce Young, by the way, the bottom last quarterback in our composite quarterback rankings. Anthony Richardson tied for 25th.
Where is Burrow?
Joe Burrow?
I'd start at the bottom.
Tied for 28th. Yeah, but Ryan Tannehill 22nd, so it's not like he's having a good season either. It's just I think you're right. There's a coin flip game. If you're saying you want to tease Indy, go ahead. I'll co-sign that.
I'll tease Tennessee. I'll tease them both. I just need to get plus 1.5. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, AJ feels strongly about this. Maybe he really feels that Jonathan Taylor's going to play this weekend and that he's going to have a big impact on this team, and that's going to be the difference. Because to me, I just don't see it. I don't see it with this Colts team. I guess I see it with Anthony Richardson running the football. I don't see it with him passing the football. I think last week I looked at their performance, and I guess let's see. We have our expected margins right here. Let's look at what we have here. This is just on the season. All right, so this is projected margins and luck factor, like we always do here at pregame.com. Mackenzie does incredible work here. Rams, fourth quarter win share. And this was a game last week, Rams against the Colts, that went into overtime, where the Rams won in overtime on a Puka Nacua touchdown.
Who?
Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
Rams had a 74% fourth quarter win share.
It's shocking it's that low
that
considering they were up 23 to nothing, so.
And the Rams, a 4.3 margin.
Rams won the stats. Rams had plus 150 yards. Rams better yards per play, despite, Indy being able to go balls to the wall at the end of the game. So,
So I think I'd like to go against that Indianapolis Colts team.